Is the Demellier Vancouver handbag worth it? Let's have a look. Hello everyone, welcome back to another mommy review. I review all things for the love of. Today I am reviewing the Demellier Vancouver bag and see, is it worth it? So before I get started, if you like the content on this channel, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for considering, and on with the video. So I've been hearing a lot about this Demellier Vancouver bag for a while, so I want to check it out for myself. So I thought I'll bring you to the store and have a look. So for this video, I hope to go over a little bit of history about the bag, but also go over like my 10 pros, and of course being truthfully honest with you guys, the cons, whether this handbag is worth it or not. So let's get started. So you can see basically Demellier Vancouver bag is like a classic box bag. I think it looks really nice in photos, but sometimes like when you see the handbag in store, it can be just so different when you have it in your hand and get a chance to inspect it. So hopefully this video is helpful for you guys, because I know that the Demellier brand, there aren't a lot of stores that have it readily available. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys in deciding whether it's worth it. So for me, I've been taking a break from luxury brands because I'm wanting to purchase like a few more like mid-range luxury bags to add to my collection. So I want to know like whether the Demellier brand is worth it. It is a very fast growing brand that is based in London. This brand is actually founded in 2010. Originally it was called Demellier, and then it was rebranded in 2017. The founder is a Harvard Business School graduate who worked in fashion industry, and the whole idea behind the brand is that it's female owned and like female designed for women by women. I think aesthetically, looking at the Vancouver bag, it is a very typical box bag shape, very classic, reminiscent of like the Celine box bag. Not saying that the Demellier brand is exactly the same as Celine. I feel like it's kind of like different leagues in terms of quality and price wise, but also reminds me of the Hermes Constance as well. So I think it's a more affordable option. So for this review, I hope to go over this handbag and all the pros and cons related to it. Hopefully it'll be helpful for you to decide. So let's start with the pros. First of all, I must say modern classic. You can see it and it looks like just gorgeous, modern yet timeless. I think it will definitely withstand the test of time. Very elegant and sophisticated look. I actually really love the subtle shading of the gold. It's not too yellow, not too orange, so I think it goes very well with like everyday jewelry. The second pro I want to go over is I love the minimalistic look, like no bells and whistles, don't need like large logoing, which I absolutely love. It looks very delicate, very discreet, and as a result, this like quiet luxury look I think is just so classic and chic. And that's why I think that's another major pro and a major for a lot of people to this brand. Number 3 is the practicality. It is quite roomy. It's lined with like sustainable black cotton on the inside and made with like 30% recycled cotton and 70% cotton. The bag is actually very roomy with one large compartment, a zip pocket for your daily essentials. You want to keep it a little bit more secure, and also a smaller front compartment. The dimensions of the handbag is 7 inches by 3 inches in depth and 9 inches in terms of like the top and the base. So it's a perfect square shape. It's also notable to note that the strap is quite adjustable and very versatile. The strap length, the minimum is 42 inch and then the maximum is 45 inches, and the bag weighs roughly 600 grams. So it's not like a super small bag, and it's like not exactly a medium. I would say it's something in between. Another pro I want to talk about is versatility. It is very easy for you to adjust the strap from like shoulder to crossbody without too many adjustments, but at the same time the strap is adjustable. It goes from 106 to 116 centimeters. You can wear it multiple ways, and I can see it being worn for both work, travel, and also for everyday use. I feel like it's a very functional yet very stylish handbag. Durability. I feel like this is a very structured handbag. will definitely keep its shape over time, which is great because I hate a handbag that looks slouchy and just like very old and tattered over time. So it's great to have a structured handbag like this. Material. I quite like the subtle shine associated with this handbag. The quality and the leather and craftsmanship didn't really disappoint me. The leather is a little bit stiff. This Vancouver handbag does come in various material. You can see there is like smooth leather. There's also pebbled leather if you're worried about scratching your handbag, or they also have raffia available as well, and some exotic leathers. So there's quite a few material to choose from. In terms of craftsmanship, all their handbags are crafted in southern Spain by local artisan, which is great when it's all centralized in one location because they can have better standards of quality that they can upkeep. It uses the finest Italian and Spanish leathers. I think the hardware looks quite nice. It's gold and shiny, but like not tacky. The attention to the detail is quite impressive, although I have seen some vlogs saying that you need to watch out for the stitching when you pick up the handbag. Pairing with your wardrobe, I feel this handbag is very easy to pair with your rest of your wardrobe, I would say. It pairs nicely with simple outfits, but also looks great with more casual clothing as well. Sustainability. The materials are sourced from sustainable methods and also work with only certified tanneries that offers like fair wage and safe work environments. And these are things that you can't necessarily like have a tangible effect on. And like, I know when you're looking at handbag, you're thinking like, this is what I'm holding in my hand, that's what I'm paying for, the craftsmanship, the material, and like the actual product in your hand. But there's also a lot of non-tangible things that I think we speak to when we choose how to spend our hard-earned money. And I think sustainability is something that's quite underrated, and like it's important to explore from the companies to show that we feel that this is an important value for our society or for our children to come. Another thing I should mention is the lifetime warranty. I was a little bit shocked by this, that they have lifetime warranty for this handbag, which I haven't heard for a lot of handbags around this midpoint range. I think that is a total pro to consider. Last but not least is the pricing. I think the pricing is quite fair for what you get. Right now it's $670 for something in a smooth leather, and if you get something like in the raffia leathers, they can range from $700 to $600. But you can actually get a really good promo for some of these handbags during sale season, so something to consider. Of course, it's not all bells and whistles for this handbag. I also want to go over the cons related to it. I want to be super transparent with you guys whether this handbag's worth it. Number one con is that it doesn't have a pocket in the back. So for me, I don't want to always open up that clasp to kind of grab my belongings, like things like a pass or like a phone. It's nice to have a back pocket to kind of slip in and grab in and out quickly. The second con I want to mention is not really a big con, is that it doesn't have feet on the bottom to protect it from like wear and tear, because I can see when you place the bag on the table it's going to scratch easily, but I don't think it's a big deal, especially when it's a small medium bag. Another con I want to mention is that it's made from like this smooth material, as you can see, which can scratch easily. I can foresee like smooth leather does tend to scratch more easily, and I think it will bother me. I don't always baby my handbags, but I also don't trash them either. So if it bothers you, maybe consider a pebbled leather instead. Con number 4 is that I do find with the clasp it's a little bit finicky. It's easier to do with two hands, which I prefer something that's one-handed, easy to get access on. So that's just a minor con. Con number 5 is I've been reading reviews about how people return the handbags because the leather is bent. I don't know if that's associated with how you kind of like tuck the clasp in and whatnot, but like that's something to be aware of. Con number 6 is that this handbag's not sold everywhere. It's not super accessible. So let's say if you buy online, you need to return it. You'll have to deal with like mailing and all that. There's just not as many stores easily accessible for you to kind of look and also return and make exchanges as quickly as you would like. And number 7 for my final con is probably related to the hardware. I do find that the fingerprints and scratches show very easily on the hardware. It looks really nice aesthetically when you first pick up the handbag, but with use, like regular use after weeks, a month, it's gonna look not as dainty. The hardware just scratches super easily. And for some people, it might actually bother you. So I thought I should bring this up because it's been showing up consistently for a lot of people who have this handbag. So those are my major pros and cons related to the Demellier Vancouver handbag. So what do you think of this handbag? Do you think it is worth it? I think it's a good staple handbag given that it works for so many occasions. I love the quiet luxury look. It looks very polished, I would say. It does remind me a little bit of a lot of similar handbags you see in Celine, Hermes, or like even the Coach Cassie from Coach. I do find this looks a little bit more polished, I would say, compared to the Coach Cassie. But overall, I think that people do find the quality and the style is quite beautiful and very functional. And for that price point, it's a great handbag to consider if you're looking for a mid-range handbag. I wouldn't say it's like apples to apples. You can compare with a Celine box bag because like the quality is quite different, but like it's still worth considering if you like the style handbag. I feel like it's very timeless. I'm just a little bit worried about the wear of the bag as you kind of move the strap back and forth as you move from shoulder to crossbody, but like most people usually stick with one way to wear the handbag, so likely it won't affect you that much if you don't tend to exchange it between the crossbody and also the shoulder bag, because that tugging on that leather strap will create wear over time. So that's it for today's video on the Demellier Vancouver handbag. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. At the end of the day, I think just go for the handbag that really sings to you, that makes you feel good. It doesn't necessarily have to be in agreement with what everybody says. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me on this mommy review, and I'll see you next time. Take care and stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.